What's up, guys? The final score is back again. We're live this week, and we got some just a smorgasbord. If you, big word of the day, smorgasbord of NFL information this week. And
Now spell it. Now spell
heck, no, I can't spell it.
it.
We were talking about doing a NFL top five uh, touchdown celebration, but we're not going to do that tonight. We're going to save that one. Yeah, I know that's what the title is up here, but we're going to save that. We're just going to talk what's going on in the NFL because there's a lot of news going on. With me, as always, is my buddy, my partner in crime, Mr. Matthew Bazemore. What's up, buddy?
What's up, Stevie? What's up, everybody? I'm really requesting like a some theme music to go along with your introduction to me every time.
Well, hey, you're the beat master.
Hmm.
You can play it in the background. Well, you want to play the Batman theme song whenever you.
No,
You know,
probably
we'll probably just because I hummed it right then, we'll probably get a copyright strike on that. Um,
yeah, exactly. So yeah, I'm thinking about shoot, I have the tiger.
okay, Rocky.
Dun dun dun
That's
dun.
something we need to do too. We need to do a top 10 list of
Sports movies.
sports movies.
Yes,
I've done one before, but I need to hear your list compared to mine. So we
I
need to
have
do that.
right many.
Oh yeah, it's hard. It's tough to come up with one.
It is. You best believe Sandlot's on my list.
You're not supposed to give it away, dude.
Oh well, they'll forget by the time we'll do
A
it.
lot of news going on in the NFL. Of course, Aaron Rodgers is still with Green Bay for now. They're still everybody keeps talking about. Well, it's definitely going to happen. They're just waiting for the Jets and the Packers to work the deal out. What if it doesn't work out though? What is Aaron Rodgers going to do? Does he retire?
Guess it goes
Uh,
back into hiding.
Goes back
Hibernation,
into his darkness chamber.
dark chamber. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got to go back into darkness. Like, was it? What did they say on Dave Chappelle show when he does Rick James? He calls Charlie Murphy darkness. Darkness. I guess that's where
Darkness.
Aaron Rodgers goes. Aaron Rodgers goes to darkness. Um, but yeah, there's a lot going on. Of course, I saw something today. Of course, I don't know if we've talked about it since if our last show if we had it. Ezekiel Elliott is gone from the Cowboys,
Yep.
and now there's he's narrowed his list down to three teams. Have you heard about the three teams he's narrowed it down to?
I know one of them is the Eagles.
Yep. Wouldn't that be now the other two before we go any further? The Jets and the Bengals. So I guess he wants to get some of that um, Aaron Rodgers. He wants to get in with that. Um, but if he goes to the Eagles, and I just talked to one of our good buddies a couple of hours ago at a Northeast baseball game, Eric Sawyer, who is a diehard Cowboys fan. I don't know what's wrong with him, but that's one of the things.
He's my
Um,
cousin. He's my cousin, but
yeah,
he's
yeah,
crazy. You gotta love him.
yeah. You gotta yeah. At least he's not a Patriots fan. Um,
True.
so can you imagine him playing for the Eagles? And we talk, in podcast past since I've been doing this. There's always been um, I've always talked about guys that end up in jerseys and just look weird because they're in other teams' jerseys. Can you imagine how weird it would be for Cowboy fans to see Zeke in an Eagles jersey? Yeah, I mean that,
Especially
but that
because
would
of
be
the
interesting.
division.
The Eagles really need him though.
They do. I think Jalen Hurts would do great with him and
You know,
AJ Brown.
yeah, losing Miles Sanders to
Yeah.
which he signed with the Panthers. Um, yeah, I think it would be a good move for the Eagles. They really need and it may be a change of scenery might do Ezekiel Elliott really good because I think I think he was getting a little complacent in Dallas. I will say this to Cowboy fans out there as a outsider looking in, and my honest opinion on what happened to Elliott. Everybody says, "Well, he got that money and he hadn't been the same since." Well, that could be part of it. The other part I see is Kellen Moore.
He was limited.
Kellen Moore wanted to push Dak. It was all about Dak, Dak this, Dak that, and his uh his role in the offense was diminished.
Yeah.
So, you can say what you want to, but this guy may have a little bit more gas in his tank than you think. I think it's going to be interesting to see where uh, yeah, I hope he doesn't. I don't want to see him in Cincinnati. Let him go to the Jets, let him go to the Eagles, but
No.
and not that we're scared of him anything, but the less weapons that that he's got, that Burrow's got in Cincinnati, the better, because he's going to need some. Um,
Did you see that Aaron Rodgers said that he would like Ezekiel Elliott on the Jets with him?
oh yeah, he's that's why he put his name. The Jets are one of his teams.
Oh, so that's why. Okay, so that's
Yeah, that's
why.
why he's got hit the Jets as one of his teams.
Hmm,
Aaron Rodgers wants a LeBron James a team. He wants to build a super team. He wants to put his guys in there, and he wants to go with it. And it's not working out too well for LeBron here lately. But and getting off the subject of the NFL for a little bit, I saw a headline: New look Lakers lineup could take LeBron deep into the playoffs. He's not playing. He's sitting on the bench like a little baby. Oh, I hurt my knee 3 weeks ago. Come on, man. I see where the NBA is talking about that during the meetings in the offseason. They're going to have to talk about this load management deal where players like LeBron decide they take nights off because of load management. Their load management is too much. They can't
yeah.
take it. Well, guess what? Jordan never worried about load management. Magic Johnson never worried about it. Larry Bird didn't. Charles Barkley didn't. They played 82 games, and
Yep.
they were good for it. I remember Jordan played. Let's see, what year was it? It had to be '96. Played a whole season, went to the NBA Finals, won finals. Played in the Olympics, played all summer in the Olympics. Then came back the next year with the Bulls, played 82 games that season, went to the finals again and won it. So you think he was tired? He talked about, I'm tired.
Dude, the physical. How do I say this? The physical structure of basketball has changed so
Eh,
much.
Here's what I don't get. And I know we're talking NBA and people are like, y'all say y'all don't talk about NBA. Well, here's what I don't get. People talk about, that the ones that talk want to push like these guys are in better shape. These guys these days are in better shape than the guys back then. They're
Nah,
more physically gifted than what's back then. If that's the case, shouldn't they have no problem playing 82 games?
exactly,
I mean,
exactly.
what
Because I
what
mean,
part? I mean, let's do the math here. Something does not add up on that argument. You can't tell me that. Well, yeah, they're not playing defense. They're everything. Everybody wants to shoot a three. It's nobody. They never call traveling anymore. Um, yeah, NBA has become a joke. I'm
yeah,
sorry, and NBA fans, if you like the NBA, more power to you. But this guy right here, yeah, I am not buying into the NBA. I want to see a team play defense. I want to see a team
yeah.
hold another team under 100 points in the NBA. You look at the scores, there's hardly ever, both teams are hardly ever under 100 points.
Unless you're the Charlotte Hornets.
Unless you're just, you got to be terrible.
Yeah,
Um, so I don't know. I just I'm not gonna sit here and praise the NBA athletes. I'm sorry, but anyway, let's move on. Commanders, the Washington Commanders. Sale looks like it's going to be imminent, and it might be coming really quickly. I saw that Magic Johnson has actually joined a group that's looking to buy the team. Um, Daniel Snyder and his wife, they've cleared all their stuff out. So it looks like it's going to happen soon. And Red Washington fans, I almost said Redskin fans, which that would be fine too.
it's still Redskins.
Washington fans will be happy as a little kid at Christmas when that happens. It'll be a new beginning for them, and I think a move in the right direction for them. Um, I mean, what do you think? What do you think happens to Daniel Snyder after this? Does he fade into the sunset, and you never hear from him again, or does he? I don't know. What do you think, man?
It's hard to say where I think he'll be because you would think he'll be in prison right now. If it was anybody else, he'd be in
He's gonna
prison.
have something coming against him. Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
lot going on out there.
I mean, you think he'd already be in there with all the mess that's against him. If it was anybody else, I feel like they would be, but I think he's just, I think he's gonna fade. If not go to prison, I think he's gonna fade out, and you won't hear nothing from the Snyder family.
Yeah, I think he's going. He might buy himself out of jail. Um,
He could do it. I mean,
yeah,
why not?
he might. But yeah, Commanders. I know Lynn Bryant is he has already told me. Lynn used to be my co-host on here. Lynn has already told me the day that the sale happens, he wants an emergency podcast that night, and he wants to come on and so he can celebrate on the podcast. So I said, we're
I'll
all
be
for
here.
it, dude. Whenever you want to do it, we'll do it. Whatever it happens, we'll do it.
Yeah, I'll be here.
Yeah, heck yeah. So,
Because Washington's already heading in the right direction. I mean,
well, they
despite
got a good defense. They just and
yeah,
they're building an offense. You got Eric Bieniemy as your offensive coordinator, which
yeah,
should be uh, that's going to be a lot of eyes on that. Um, yeah, and Sam Howell, that's going to be something you're going to have eyes on too. Which that, and Ron Rivera said Jacoby Brissett came came in and he's going to be competing for the start job. Come on now, yeah, Sam Howell needs to work for sure. But if you think that the Washington fans are going to get excited because Jacoby Brissett's coming in, and you think he might win the starting job, then yeah, I mean nothing against Jacoby Brissett, but Jacoby Brissett is is a really good backup. Nothing against him, but what I've seen, he's a
yeah.
really good backup. Um,
Imagine, listen, everybody. Imagine Baker Mayfield going to your favorite team. That's how excited they'll be.
yeah,
Not
well,
really
Tampa
excited.
Bay, Tampa Bay fans. Baker Mayfield signs with Tampa Bay. So
Yeah,
uh, moving on, Lamar Jackson still has not signed his tender, and now there a representative not certified by the NFL Players Association has been contacting teams on behalf of Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson. The NFL sent a memo to all teams on Wednesday instructing them not to negotiate with this person. His name is Ken Francis, and he's attempting to persuade club personnel to enter in negotiations with or concerning Lamar Jackson. And he is not, he said, as an uncertified person, Mr. Francis is prohibited from negotiating offer sheets or player contracts or discussing potential trades on behalf of any NFL player or prospective player or assistant or in advising with respect to such negotiations. So 1 minute, Lamar's representing himself. Then you got this guy that's not certified and he's trying to negotiate contracts, apparently. So now Lamar Jackson has has came out and said that um, how do you say it in a tweet? Stop lying. That man never tried to negotiate for me. So I don't know. And now Francis has told ESPN.com, I don't speak for Lamar. Um, I don't know. I don't know what's going on here. It gets weirder and weirder every week with Lamar Jackson.
And at one time, I thought maybe it was going to come to an end because Bill Belichick and the Patriots. But obviously, that's off the table now.
Well, they did come out with and I don't know if this was this Francis guy that was going to the press or not, but I want to say it was Monday or Tuesday. There was a report coming out uh, that Lamar had pretty much given up hopes of being a Raven. That all other teams that were interested should try to negotiate with him on a deal to negotiate with the Ravens on a deal. And I don't know if that's what this Francis guy was saying or if it was actually true. So, and it's saying Francis did contact multiple teams in the effort to entice them to pursue Lamar. Now, all teams have been told to communicate only with Lamar unless and until he hires a NFLPA certified agent. So I don't know. I really just wish the whole thing was over. I'm getting tired of hearing about it. Either be a Raven or be with somebody else. And I just hate to see what a team is going to have to give up and what they're going to have to pay him to get them on their team.
They're going to
Because
have to clear their whole salary cap,
I
give
mean,
up
it's getting
picks for
ridiculous.
the
If
next 5 years.
he he has turned down 133 million guaranteed. I mean, how much more do you want? And these teams have got to be seeing because you saw when Baltimore franchise and these teams that were so called interested started backing off one by one. The Panthers were said to be interested, and now the Panthers, you know, after that they go out and trade up to get the number one pick to probably draft either Stroud or Young in the draft and have a franchise quarterback. Um, there's been others. I don't know about the Patriots. I don't know if the Patriots have backed off or not, but you're taking a big risk with this guy.
Yes, yes.
A couple years ago or 2 or 3 years ago, yeah, MVP. But now your legs are in question. It's injuries to your knees and your legs over the last 2 years. You've missed almost half your team's games in the last 2 years, and you haven't been you don't make great decisions. Timely turnovers, timely interceptions. Why would a team want to pay you that kind of money and sign you to a long-term deal when you're injury prone? I guess unless you could have come back, like some people said the end of last season, and you chose to sit out and leave your teammates behind. That's what some people were saying that he could have probably played. And I know he came out and said, "Oh, my knee is not stable," and this and that and the other. But you know, I don't know. It's going to get interesting to see what happens. And after all this going on, all the hassle, all the crap, he'll probably just stay in Baltimore. You watch.
He's gonna have to. I mean, he's gonna have to take what Baltimore offers him because if not, if he wants to play football and he likes football, he's gonna have to because nobody else is gonna give up what Baltimore has offered him already, which was you said 133
130,
million.
that was just guaranteed. That
Okay, yeah,
wasn't
guaranteed, but
that
still,
was the total amount of the contract. That's what's been said now. Nothing official,
Yeah.
but a lot of people were saying they offered him 133 million dollars guaranteed. Now, a player that doesn't take that makes me think, okay, you don't want to be here. You don't want to be here anymore. So, we're going to franchise you, and you're free to test the waters and see if you can get a team to to give us what we feel like you're worth and to pay you what you feel like you're worth. But there's going to be a lot to give up for a team, any team. And I don't know who out there. I know the Colts. The Colts came up a lot um, the last day or two. I kept hearing people talk about the Colts, and I want to look at their depth chart because I know they Matt Ryan should be gone, which Matt Ryan's not gonna set the world on fire anyway. That now the Colts just signed Gardner Minshew.
Seen that today.
I mean that was last week, and Nick Foles. Nick Foles is the backup. Sam Ellinger is the third string. So
Why does the Lamar Jackson situation? I know it's two different positions, but why does that remind me of the OBJ situation right
oh
now?
good lord,
That issue right there is ridiculous too. Putting up a quote, I mean a tweet on Twitter saying I don't know what the quote is for me, but Ford just ain't it.
what happened there was a lot of reports coming out that were saying OBJ wanted $20 million.
22 million.
Yeah, and he came out and denied it. Denied. He
Yeah,
said, I don't know where you're getting this 22 million from. I never said that, but I know I'm worth more than 4 million. And this is the guy that has torn both ACLs,
hasn't played a whole season
hasn't
since
played in a whole
2017,
year, hasn't played since the Super Bowl before last.
and a whole season in 2017. That's the last
Yeah,
whole season he's had.
and made the comment or insinuated last year that he really didn't want to play regular season games. He just wanted to play postseason games.
Playoff, yeah.
Um, would I be in a hurry to sign him? No.
Mm-mm.
I would be like, you know, we'll see. You're going to have to, you know, I don't see what the big deal is about the guy.
Me either. Just like Lamar, both players, I don't see what the
He was
big deal is.
explosive when his first few years with the Giants, and his attitude started to overshadow his talent with the Giants before he left. And, I guess he went to Cleveland after that. Cleveland, he kind of showed his butt a little bit with Cleveland, giving Baker Mayfield a hard time, just saying certain things about what he should be doing in Cleveland, and it's not happening because of personnel around him. And then he goes to the Rams, and I'm kind of like, okay, I'm seeing a new Beckham. He kept his mouth shut. He played and he kept his mouth shut. He didn't do any of that stupid stuff. But now I don't see what if I'm an NFL player, no matter how, and believe me, he wasn't really setting the world on fire with the Rams. He was doing a good job. They had a good receiving core with him, with Cup and with the others, but he wasn't like putting up great numbers like every game.
Yeah.
So I'm playing above average in the NFL. I tear my ACL. I'm out a whole year. What had in the old days, Bud? That would have been a guy that was trying to prove himself again. That was trying to say, "Hey, look,
Yeah.
I'll take I'll take a 1 year deal, and I'll take it for less than what I usually make. But once I prove myself again, it's on. If I prove myself and I have all pro year, it's on. You're going to have to pay me if you want to keep me.
and that's fine. Like,
And I have no problem with that. But
yeah,
sitting up here making demands when you haven't played in a whole year, like, oh gosh, yeah, I know I'm worth more than 4, which maybe he is, but I don't know. He's got to prove himself. Nobody wants to prove themselves anymore. Everybody just wants it like, okay, this is what I'm worth. You need to give it to me.
yeah,
And then how many times have you seen a player work his butt off on that contract year? And then after he gets that big contract, he goes all to pieces. He doesn't have a good season anymore. Case in
Joe
point,
Flacco.
Joe Flacco,
Yeah,
MVP year, played probably one of the best postseason a quarterback has ever played in NFL history, and then goes to crap after he gets that big contract, which he deserved. And I mean, did he deserve the contract? Yes, he proved that he deserved. But you lose that. I guess you lose that determination, that hunger to be like, okay, this is my contract year. I got to play. Why can't you play like that every year? Why can't you put that into every year? There's been so many, and I mean, I, I was picking on Flacco because he's a Raven, but uh, he's probably the last one I remember. There's been a lot of them, but he's probably the last one I remember.
dude. I hope Daniel Jones ain't next.
That's what we talked, and we talked about that. We
Yeah,
talked about that when he signed that contract. Is that determination going to be there like it was last year? Or
better.
is he going to say, okay, I've achieved what I wanted to. I got my big contract. That's going to be it. I don't know. It remains to be seen. Speaking of speaking of quarterbacks with big egos, Cam Newton back in the news.
Who? No, I'm kidding.
Cam Newton,
Superman.
yes, came out earlier in the week, said he was going to throw for NFL scouts at Auburn's Pro Day. And his quote was, I know there ain't 32, all 32 MFers better than me, talking about NFL quarterbacks right now. So how'd he do? Not too good. He was His accuracy was off. He missed wide open receivers, and this is without a pass rush in his face. Sometimes you just gotta know when. What is that? The gambler, Kenny Rogers, know when to hold them, know when to fold them,
I'm gonna vote
and
him.
Cam probably needs to fold them now. He needs to. I don't know. I don't know. What do you do? What kind of career does Cam Newton have? Is he a coach? Is he a fashion consultant? No, he's not a fashion consultant because if you watched his press conference, I mean,
Neither one. He's not. Man, hoping the Cam Newton fans up here, but he's not capable of being that much of a leader as a coach. He's not mature enough. I don't think.
no, I can't. I really can't see him being a coach. Um, yeah, I don't see, like you said, the maturity to be
Yeah.
a coach. Uh, Not yet, at least. I mean, I don't know how old Cam Newton is, but he's got to be in his.
His 30s, early
He's got to
30s,
be in
ain't
his 30s. Let me see.
he? Yeah.
Cam Newton. Somebody saying one of the headlines up here says Cam Newton puts on a show. Cam Newton's Auburn Pro Day wideout. He still has it. No,
No, he
he
don't.
was.
He's 33 years old.
Yeah, he was born in '89. Yeah, I just don't. I mean, yeah, I was kind of surprised last year that nobody really gave him uh gave him a shot last year. But now
Now's a little too late.
being
Yeah.
out for a year, I just don't. see it happen. It's hard. I mean, it's hard, dude, when you're out of the NFL for a whole year because everybody says, "Oh, excuse me." Everybody says, "I'm in." No, I've kept in good shape, but you're not in football shape. You're not in that football field shape. You know what I mean?
If you can't hit a receiver without pass rushers, I no,
No.
you can't even pass the scouts.
Yeah, I mean, on a pro day, you really you to give a performance like they say he did. I guess there is conflicting. Uh, some people say he did a great job, and some people are saying no, he didn't.
He didn't do bad. I mean, I think.
But is it NFL quarterback caliber?
Oh, you talking about him
I'm talking
doing
about on his pro day.
oh
No, he didn't have a bad career by any
yeah, I
means.
saw
He's a
that talking
former
about yeah.
NFL MVP. He led Carolina to a 15-1 record. No, I don't take anything away from him there. But 35 touchdowns in that year, his MVP year, 10 interceptions, 3,800 yards passing, and then how many how many rushing touchdowns did he have that year? He had 10 rushing touchdowns. So he had 45. He was a part of 45 touchdowns that year in 2015. Definitely deserved to
Yeah, I
be.
mean that's impressive, but that's 2015.
And what happened after that? Things went downhill. Um, they had one good year, 2017. After that, uh, gosh, no, the guy ran for 750 yards in 2017, but his touchdown numbers went down dramatically. The next year, 19 touchdowns passes in 22 to 24 before he missed just almost a whole year with Carolina. And then after that, the last 2 years between New England and Carolina, 12 touchdowns and 15 interceptions.
I
So,
think after that Super Bowl loss, I think his ego just
well, a
went.
lot of people gave him a hard time about the fumble, not going after the fumble, saying uh, he was not giving his all for the team, and especially in that situation in the Super Bowl. That's when you want to go all out. He didn't get down and dirty on the ground to try to recover that fumble when the Broncos end up getting it, and it's pretty much a key point of that game where that did it. So, yeah, Cam Newton. Some people call him Scam Newton, but we're not going to do that to him. Um,
Damn Newton.
Austin Eckler. You know who he is, right?
Yes.
He came out and told the Chargers he wanted a trade. He wanted permission to have a trade. Now he's made it clear he'd like a new long-term deal that's equal with his on the field production. He was on the Green Light with Chris Long podcast the other day, and this is what he said. It's really important to put it out there that it's not like, oh, I hate the Chargers and I need to get out of this organization, so I need to leave. That couldn't be further from the truth. I would like to stay if it was under the right circumstances. He also added, I feel like there's no timeline on a trade. I'm so underpaid right now as far as my contract and what I contribute to the team. I am relentlessly pursuing this. I want to get something done. Uh, he signed a 4-year, $24.5 million deal with the Chargers ahead of 2020 year, and that should expire at the end of this year, and will pay him $6.25 million. If there's an opportunity to get more value, then why would you not jump on that? Why would you not at least try out the options? And worst case scenario, it's not even a worst case really. But okay, go play on that last year of your deal in LA, then become a free agent. So looking at his stats, Scrimmage total TDs 2021, 2022, 38 and 3,195 scrimmage yards from scrimmage. So comparing that to let's look. We're comparing it down here to Christian McCaffrey. Okay, let's compare it to him first. He's got 60. He's making 16 million. He's had 15 touchdowns from scrimmage, 2,665 yards from scrimmage. Alvin Kamara, $15 million contract, 13 scrimmage TDs, 2,724. So the only one close to him as far as scrimmage TDs is Joe Mixon, and he gets $12 million. The only one close to him as far as yardage and hasn't beaten in scrimmage yardage is Nick Chubb. He gets $12.2 million. So I don't blame this guy. I would be wanting a new contract too.
Yeah.
Pay me what I'm worth. Don't sit there and use me up and then throw me out to dry. Pay me what I'm worth. Austin Eckler is. I would love to have him in Pittsburgh. And the Chargers, if you're a Chargers fan, you need to be hoping and praying that they can work something out with Austin Eckler, because I think that's gonna hurt them more than a little bit if they lose him.
Because they ain't got no backups.
No. Who can you name the backup for the Chargers?
No, I don't think anybody can.
Let's see who their backup is. Let's look at their depth chart. And Justin Herbert I'm sure he's like, we need to get this done with this guy, because that guy means a lot to him.
Yeah.
Okay. Backup running back, Joshua Kelly. And then Isaiah Spiller, who's from Texas A&M. I remember him from college.
Yeah, I've heard of him too.
Larry Roundtree III is the fourth backup. So, yeah, all pro names right there, bud. They've proven themselves in the NFL. And, you never know. One guy, I could see if maybe this Kelly guy had a really good year, and they were like, Eckler can see he can get a trade. We're going to put all our money on Joshua Kelly. But let's look at Joshua Kelly's stats. 287 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns. No, that's not all pro season. That's not somebody that you get excited about. Yeah, like thinking I can trade away Austin Eckler and we'll be fine without him. No. Oh, but Chargers, you need to get on the stick, because you're gonna upset your fan base. Just looking at something right here, they always do the rule changes. They make proposal on rule changes and in the annual meetings, and I think that's next week. And the full set of proposed rule changes for next week's annual meetings from teams and from the competition committee do not include a rule prohibiting teammates from pushing the ball carrier. And that was one thing that a lot of people would, especially with the Eagles. The Eagles do it better than anybody. On the quarterback sneak, you'll see the guys get back there and they'll push the guy. And, Sean Payton was one of them that spoke out, the new Broncos coach, spoke out, said he was going to try to get it outlawed and try to get a rule against it. But evidently, unless the owners do it, unless the owners bring it up in the meetings, it will not be on the agenda this year. So,
I don't see no problem with it. I really don't.
I don't see any problem with it either. But I remember the first year I coached. I was a head coach over at Northeast. We did it. We had a guy that would get in the backfield, and he usually wasn't in the backfield, and he would push the quarterback, and we got called for it one time because they would say that's illegal. You can't do that. And I was like, since when? I mean, we've been doing this
Right.
forever. So I guess it's just what depends on what referees you get.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, that's not going to be on the agenda.
What about the hit from the side
See that
tackle?
it doesn't give a list of what it is. I hope that's not on
Okay.
the list because
Me either.
if that's the case, then they might as well just put flags around their waist and play flag
Yeah.
football because that's ridiculous. Some of the stuff they were talking about is insane. I don't get it. Hopefully, that will not be a issue there.
If it
Um,
is, you might as well count the regular season looking like the Pro Bowls.
yeah, well, they just play. You go play dodgeball.
No, because then the ball's gonna make contact with them, and that's gonna make a boo boo.
Yeah, I mean, and they even didn't want them to get hit in the. I think they got hit in the face or something like that. They got hit in the head or something like that in dodgeball. It was not legal. So yeah. All right. Let's talk a little bit. Another move that was made this week. Of course, we talked about Adam Thielen was a longtime Minnesota Viking. Was cut last week. I guess it was last week. Yeah. Well, never fear. Uh, Adam Thielen has signed with the new team, and it's the Carolina Panthers, which I thought was a great move by the Panthers.
Yes.
The Panthers are slowly, well, maybe not slowly, but
No.
they're putting together pieces to a team to build around whichever quarterback they take with that number one pick, whether it's Stroud or Young. They're putting pieces in place to they mean business. I mean, they're tired of being the Carolina Panthers that um, everybody talks about. Well, they're the Panthers. They haven't been good since 2015 and blah blah and all this. They're ready to take that step in the right direction and be a team that contends for the Super Bowl. And Adam Thielen has had some great years. Is he? Maybe he's past his prime? I don't know. Didn't have a great year with Minnesota last year, but you got Justin Jefferson. He's not going to be the number one receiver with Justin Jefferson there.
Yeah.
So good move by the Panthers. I think I was a good pickup. I was really on the boat with that one. Uh, and McKinley Jordan, he was happy. We texted back and forth about that when it happened the other night. He said, "Me and him will be best friends now." So McKinley, we have to ask you if you listen, are you going to be a Carolina Panthers fan now? Because he said Thielen was his favorite player, all-time favorite player with the Vikings. He's a big-time Vikings fan. So we'll see if he ends up turning. All right, good move by the Panthers. Long time, and I don't like to talk about the Patriots too much, but here we go. Long time linebacker for the Patriots, Dante Hightower, retired this week. Three-time Super Bowl champion, and man, as much as I despised the Patriots, that guy was a beast in his day. I
Yes.
hated that guy's way I mean, he played hard. He was going to be the one to lead the way for the Patriots. And he was the one, if you remember, that made one of the biggest plays in the Super Bowl when they came back against the Falcons. He got the strip sack that led to a touchdown, one of the touchdowns that he came back. But Hightower, drafted in 2012 out of Alabama, 33-year-old. He did not play last year, 2022. He was not signed to any team, and I'm sure he will they'll sign him to like a one-day contract with the Patriots, and he retires as a Patriot. He was a key piece of New England's defensive success for 9 seasons, 2 Pro Bowls, won 3 Super Bowls, and finished his career with 569 combined tackles, 27 sacks, 43 tackles, for loss, 1 interception and 2 touchdowns. His tackle mark ranked sixth in franchise history. So definitely one of the leaders of that Patriots defense over the last 12 years with the Belichick. But Dante Hightower retires from the Patriots. You remember him much, Matthew?
Yeah, yeah. I remember the game.
Game?
I remember the Falcons game, and I remember that whole strip sack
How bad?
played against us in the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
beat.
I figured you would bring that up.
Yeah, of course.
He was
Yeah.
there when we beat them in the Super Bowl, when we ended their perfect season.
Happy retirement, Bubba.
Yeah, and just go back home and watch those Patriots Giants Super Bowls.
Watch the tape. You could have had
And
six.
one of the last things I want to talk about, and this story. Let me see if I can bring the story up right quick, because this kind of made you think about this. I'm having a hard time pulling this up right now, but I definitely. Where is it at? I just had it up here. All right, hold on. Okay. Free agent tight end, Foster Moreau. I hope I'm not butchering his name, but announced he was with the Raiders, but he had signed a free agent deal with the Saints. And he announced his physical with the Saints revealed that he has Hodgkin's lymphoma and he'll now be stepping away from football. That
What
being
is
said,
that?
Moreau said, I'll go kick this thing's ass and get back to doing what I love. So you think about that.
What is that?
It's a form of cancer,
Oh,
Hodgkin's lymphoma. Um, I've I don't know what the recovery. I think it's got a pretty good recovery rate because there was a uh, there was a former wrestler that has been at Rage Wrestling. If you people haven't around this area know what Rage Wrestling is, um, he did his testimony at Rage Wrestling, and his name's Chuck Coates. He is a three-time cancer survivor, and I think this is what he had too was Hodgkin's lymphoma. So it might be treatable if caught early. Um, so hopefully, hopefully he'll beat this thing
yeah.
and he'll get back to playing football. He said he didn't announce his retirement, but his NFL future certainly remains up in the air. And hopefully, I mean, you don't want to see a guy go out like that. But thank
No,
God that he had signed with the Saints and had that physical, because who knows how long it would have took for them to find out that he had this. But you still there?
yeah, I'm here.
Okay, I thought you'd gone to sleep on me.
No, not yet.
Not yet. Yeah,
Not
Matthew.
yet.
Matthew, both of us have had a rough week this week, a busy week, and we're pretty tired. So we will do next week. We'll come back with our top 5 touchdown celebrations, which I've got my list, and it's going to probably surprise some people what number one is for me.
I
But
can only imagine.
and I'll tell you, it's not a Steelers. It's not anything to do with the Steelers.
No, I didn't. That's not the one I had in mind.
What do you got in mind?
Your Mr. Antonio Brown's touchdown
No,
celebration.
no, he is not anywhere on my list. I can go ahead and tell you that.
Oh, come on, man.
I'm serious. He is not on my list.
I believe he ain't on mine either.
Well, I figured that. Um, but yeah, it should be interesting next week to figure. Anything you got before we get out of here, Matthew? Besides, I want to go to bed.
No, I want to see more likes and comments and shares and stuff. And me
Well,
and Stevie
it'll
work
happen.
hard and get prepared to do all this and show us some love, man.
Yeah, show us a little love if you can. We don't ask you for money or anything like that. We just ask for you to, if you like what you hear, give us a 5-star review. Um, Go on Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you listen to this at, and give us that 5-star review. If you would, also go to YouTube and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Easy to find. You find the final score, it's right up there. Um, and just, yeah, we do work hard. We've got some things we're working on in the future that some interviews, some top 10 lists, stuff like that, some different stuff that we're going to do to keep you guys entertained. But tonight we just felt like we need to do a little, what did I call it, Matthew? Smorgasbord.
Yeah, I don't know that English.
Can you spell that for me? You talk about me.
No,
Can you spell that?
no, guy, I ain't the one that said it.
Well, I
I
mean,
ain't no.
can you spell every word you say?
Say the word again. I might.
Well, I'm sure there's some words
Say
you can't, that you
say
said you
say
can't.
say it again. I give it a shot.
Smorgasbord.
Oh man, all I heard was s'mores.
Horse. Smorgasbord, buddy. Smorgasbord. I don't know. I probably couldn't spell it
Smorgasbord.
right either.
Yeah,
Um,
well, thankfully this is a sports podcast, not
yeah,
spelling
it's
bee
not
or
a
anything
spelling
like
bee,
that.
so
Yeah.
we don't have to worry about that. I'm looking. I'm looking at see if there's anything before we go. Yeah, and now there's a report coming out that maybe the Ezekiel Elliott's wish list may not be a mutual list. Uh, he may not have offers from any of those at this point. He may never get an offer from any of them. This is simply the list of teams he wants to play for. So maybe we're the Eagles thing is not going to work out. He probably just said the Eagles thing because he wants to get back at the Cowboys.
Yeah,
So
or the same division, NFCs. You know,
what do you what would you do if they said, okay, we're going to sign Ezekiel Elliott as Saquon's backup?
dude, it won't be a bad idea.
Oh,
Look, it won't. I don't have nothing against. Only thing I had against Ezekiel Elliott was the jersey he was wearing.
the jersey he was wearing.
Yes, sir.
So, who is your most disliked NFL player that you really don't like?
A long list.
Long, I mean, there's one. There's one. Got to be one out there that you just I can't stand that guy. Could
I
be
do not.
past, could be retired. It don't matter. He don't have to be playing now.
I do not. I do not like Lamar Jackson, of course.
Okay, that's
He's
one.
always the one that pops up, and I do not like. Um, damn, I don't even remember his name. That's how much I don't like him. Matt, quarterback for the Patriots.
Mac Jones.
Mac Jones. Yeah.
All right. So let's say that the Giants don't sign Daniel Jones, and guess what? We've just signed Mac Jones to a multi-year contract. We put the Giants jersey on Mac Jones. How do you feel about Mac Jones now?
I mean, I wish the best for him, but golly, it'd be bad.
I wish the best for him. I like that. I
I
wish the
wish the
best
best
for
for him. I really do, but I mean, I'd rather for him to stay with the Patriots.
him. Yeah, I got you.
You know,
You rather for
or go
him.
or go to Pittsburgh.
Mm. Yeah, there's been some guys that I can honestly say that might be a good idea for a show. Who is one player that has played for your team that you really didn't like? Eh, You know, that could be hard to figure out. I know it would for you because you as long as they wear a Giants jersey, you love them like sliced bread. But
Yes, sir. Especially that thick sunbeam sliced bread. Oh
Thick
man.
sunbeam. Yeah, you
Yes, sir.
thick sunbeam sliced bread. Okay. Anyway, all right, Matthew. Last chance before we get out of here.
I ain't got nothing. Thank y'all for
Ain't got
listening.
nothing. Ain't got nothing. Anyway, guys, next week we'll be back with our, like I said, our top five NFL touchdown celebrations, and we will not be doing the smorgasbord next week. But you guys have a great week. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for your comments, and we'll see you next week on the final score.